Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. So, welcome back for part two of my discussion with Rob. In this part, we talk a lot about how to actually stake, what really staking is when it comes to validation, and also how we can learn more about staking and crypto in general. This is a part you don't want to miss out either. So, let's get this thing started. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And I think those are fair enough to ensure that the system keeps running and there's safety and there's security for the system itself. So it's a fair risk to have. And like with every business, there are risks. So it's totally fair. Okay. Second thing, I am here on your website. And I just want to understand which are the different methods that we can actually get involved. So you mentioned Ledger. So Ledger, hard wallet. So all of these will require hard wallet, right?
And not all of them.
Okay.
For most, you can also use a hot wallet. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, for every network we have on there, we usually provide a ledger guide. So because we always recommend using a hardware wallet, this is just the most secure way of dealing with your crypto.
Yeah.
But you can also engage if you just have a hot wallet. So these are usually the 12, 24 words you have to write down when setting up the wallet.
Yeah.
But you can also interact with just a hot wallet, so you don't need to have a hardware wallet.
I think
That being said, I would always recommend everyone to get a ledger. I mean, they're, I don't know, 80, 60, 80, 100 euros, depending on which model you want to get.
Yeah.
And they make it really easy. So I would definitely recommend everyone watching to get one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because I think there's a lot of perks of having a hard wallet because just the safety precautions, right?
Yeah.
Because hot wallets can still get hacked, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing with hot wallets is they kind of are online all the time, or they're saved on your computer, and if someone somehow gets access to your computer, because most of the time you're online with the thing, so it's, for a sophisticated hacker, they can probably get access to your funds.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just way harder.
There's still Trojans. Like going back to the 1999 and stuff like that, when initially these viruses were introduced. Now they're 10 times stronger. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you? I hope you have a few more minutes. Do you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Because we were talking about DeFi, I wanted to ask you a little bit about yield farming. Do you guys do yield farming and stuff like that?
Privately, but not as a company.
Okay, got it.
I mean, for Torchain, we will engage in that kind of behavior, but Torchain we only offer for institutional customers. And but all the other networks you find on there's no yield farming involved.
Okay, got it. Okay, because the thing is, I know we're not like I have recommended people who like follow me and stuff don't do anything to do with DeFi, but I just wanted to, if you guys do, I just wanted to like kind of see how DeFi even works as a whole. And sorry, like in a sense, how does yield farming works as a whole, like the technical terms of it. So whoever's listening, they can get the technical aspect from someone who's within the industry.
So in general, yield farming is or the biggest application is if you think of automated market makers. So automated market makers are where like Uniswap, where you can become a liquidity provider to that DEX, to the decentralized exchange. And it works as follows: like you have two tokens, like Ethereum and DAI maybe, and you put them in equal parts into a pool, into a liquidity pool against which people can start trading. So, and for you putting in 50% ETH, 50% DAI, you get an LP token back. This LP token grants you the rights to always redeem this token for whatever you put in there. Without going into too much detail, since the pool always needs to be roughly balanced, if, for instance, ETH starts to gain a lot of value, you will end up getting more DAI out of it than you got ETH out of ETH. You will get more DAI out than you put in and less ETH because you need to get the same value out. So this is a thing called impermanent loss.
Got it.
And the thing is why yield farming got so crazy, because people started to like, in addition to this, you started getting governance tokens. For instance, Uni, if you started doing it on Uniswap, or Sushi, if you did it on SushiSwap, there's a bunch of these weird token names that you got, and these tokens also started increasing value. So you earned fees from providing the liquidity, and you got these extra tokens. That's why you sometimes see APYs of, I don't know, 200% or whatever.
Yeah, and I was looking at that, and sometimes there's a lot of there's also interest involved. Like the exchanges also give you like interest because you're in essence lending it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You earn the fees the interest fees that are generated through these trades.
Okay, cool. Okay, just a few more questions. And this is more from like the learning aspect of it. Staking. So proof of stake versus proof of work. So staking versus mining. What's the difference?
So the thing is with proof of work, like I said before, in a decentralized network, there has to be a mechanism in place through which it can be decided of who can put the next block to the blockchain. And in proof of work, this was done by everyone who was running a mining operation, that they had to solve simply speaking, they had to solve a puzzle, which they could only solve through brute force, like trying out a bunch of different numbers very, very fast. And this required a lot of energy. And whoever solved the puzzle first, so whoever put in more energy, was allowed to put the block onto the next. Was allowed to put the block onto the blockchain. Now, what people started to realize, okay, they thought, okay, like this energy and this hardware that you had to involve to be able to compete in that puzzle and to even be able to win the puzzle first, is actually only a detour, because you can strictly go to the money, because energy and hardware, you are incentivized to do the right thing because you had to spend energy and hardware to get there, to actually be able to participate there. And what people in proof of stake started to realize, okay, instead of wasting this energy and all this kind of stuff, we can go directly to the money. So we can directly go and say, okay, if you want to participate in this whole ecosystem and start running validation nodes, you have to put up money. And this is actually the same. It's very similar in that regard to mining, because you can kind of have like a carrot and a stick element. The carrot is your block rewards and the transaction fees. The stick is slashing and the sunk costs you kind of have to bear, if in the form of energy and hardware. And the proof of stake, it's just you have to put up the money in the form of the network's native token.
Okay.
Therefore, you're incentivized.
And then plus, they're a lot more efficient for society as a whole, because you're not using as much electricity and all that stuff.
Exactly. You go right to the money. You don't need to waste all that energy, because at the end of the day, this energy is just in place so that people, they have to kind of pay up front, like have some costs, and in Bitcoin you only get the block rewards and transaction fees if you play by the rules. So if I'm the miner who gets to add the next block, but I included invalid transactions, or I somehow tried to cheat systems, other people will recognize, and I won't get the block rewards and transaction fees. However, I will already have spent the money on energy and hardware. So I'm very much incentivized to do the right thing, because I had these costs, and now I want to get rewarded for it. And in proof of stake, it's exactly the same. It's just that you don't have to use all this energy, but you just put up money right away.
Yeah. Then in that way, it's a lot better for society and in general for yourself also.
Definitely.
Is mining still gonna be a thing in 3 years, in your opinion? Do you think it's still valuable to get into mining? Because I know there's still some tokens that are gonna be mining based, I know Bitcoin's one, and then there's a few others, but I feel like every other one is going towards staking.
Like I'm pretty biased, because I work at a validator and not a mining company. And I think in 3 years, 3 years is an eternity in crypto. So a lot can happen. I do think that there will still be mining operations, successful mining operations, But I think the only relevant proof of work network will be Bitcoin.
Okay.
And the others, I think that's basically it. I think all the other relevant networks. I mean, you see it with Ethereum, it's switching over to proof of stake.
2.0, yeah.
A lot of the new networks that you see, like the new kids on the block, if you want, like Polkadot and so forth, and Solana.
Yeah.
They utilize proof of stake.
Yeah.
So I think the future is staking, but you have to take my word with a grain of salt because I'm obviously biased.
You know, I agree with you because I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I was gonna buy my own like a mining rig and stuff, right? Like a small one that I could put in my basement and stuff, and run it just as one as for learning, and two just to see, you know, what this can lead me to, how many hash and all that stuff. But since I got detailed into staking, I realized it's just not valuable for my time and my effort, because if it's not gonna be there for the after in a few years, then it's not. So even I agree with you. Your bias, my bias, we can add them together, and we can conclude that staking is the future. Okay. Just last question. What is your recommendation for every new user or every new person coming into crypto? Do you have certain books that you recommend, certain online things? Like, I want to, because you're in the industry, you know 10 times more than I know right now. So I respect that, and I take you as a mentor, and I want to take whatever you give me and learn from it. So any books, anything what made you as smart as you are in this industry that I could try to take?
So first things first, everyone who watches this is already doing the right thing. He or she's starting to get educated by following like your channel and listening to people who have been in the space for some time. This is probably the best resource is YouTube, Twitter. On Twitter, I mean, there's a lot of noise, so you kind of have to
filter
to see whom to follow. Yeah, to filter.
Yeah.
This is tough, but I think once you have the stone, if the stone got rolling, and if you follow the right people, you will see whom they follow, what they share, and then you kind of get the hang of it. This just takes time. A book I can definitely recommend, it sits on my table right here, is Token Economy.
Lovely.
It's by Sherman Washmagir. She did a very cool job of mixing kind of technical perspectives and high level perspectives, and it's I would say it's a little bit about blockchain beyond the hype. I can definitely recommend the books by Andreas Antonopoulos, so Mastering Bitcoin, Mastering Ethereum.
Would you be okay to, because we have each other's email, would you be okay to send me an email of these books?
Sure, yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Perfect. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably order these books and then do like a book review in about a month or two or something like that.
Oh, cool, yeah. I will also send you books and newsletter and podcasts also. And we are also currently relaunching a content aggregation platform that we built.
Nice.
It's staking-academy.com.
Okay.
It should be out in a week or two. It's a bit more complex than we thought. This is just where we kind of collect a bunch of resources for that.
Yeah.
Also the YouTube channel by Finmatics is super cool.
Okay.
I will also send you that. Yes. There's a bunch of great podcasts, newsletters. The Staking Economy newsletter is pretty insightful for everything staking related. Disclaimer: I'm a contributor to that, so
that's okay.
Also biased here.
If people want to see more of you, they can go there.
Yeah. If you like, the best thing is you just start following you. You go on Twitter. You see, I don't know if you're on Twitter. Probably, most likely.
I've been asked to make Twitter. I've been asked to make Twitter for this, so I'm gonna be making Twitter soon. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. That's a good idea, and then people can see whom you follow.
Yeah.
People can start following different validators. They can start following Binance, and then you kind of get and to everyone starting out, this seems very like information overload, and there's so much going on, and I can keep track. That's totally fine. No one can keep track. Everyone suffers this. Just start doing it, get an account, and get involved, and that's the best way.
Take action. Do something.
Take action. Yeah, exactly.
A lot
exactly.
of I think this generation lacks this, that we just think about a billion things. There's a billion Bill Gates out there, but just because none of them take action, none of them became Bill Gates. So
yeah, nicely put. And the thing is, like, I'm not a technical person. I studied business.
Me too. Finance.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, wow. Then you're perfectly suited in this space. But even like if you started, like even if you don't need to study at all to be in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Like we see people, like, I don't know if you know Bankless. This also very cool podcast. There are quite heavy Ethereum fanboys. I like them. They do good content, but it's very, you have to also take their point of view with a grain of salt. But
everybody's, honestly, everybody's.
Yeah, everybody's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you said in your video that you always have to like think on your own. But one of those guys, I think he was a physiotherapist before jumping into crypto. So
yeah,
like it doesn't really matter what you learned. You can, if in this industry, because it's so
new,
diverse, new.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a place for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. So I'm honestly gonna be bothering you a lot about these books and waiting for that email.
Yeah, go ahead. I have a call at 3, but I'll start collecting a bunch of stuff and I'll send it through today.
All right, last question. I know you're busy. It's gonna be a 1-minute question. Who is Satoshi?
Honestly, I think it's what's his name? Helfini? Or I think he's pretty much involved. I think that was his name. I think it's a group. Also, I don't think it's only one person. I think there's a few people who were involved. Yeah, it's a cool question. I don't know. I that's also what kind of hooked me in the beginning, because I thought, okay, there's someone building an alternative to fiat money, really, back in the day. I think Bitcoin kind of moved away from that narrative, and no one knows who he or she is.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of like, gets you hooked.
Yeah. I always ask that question as a fun question, because nobody knows.
That's cool, yeah.
I like to get the
nobody knows,
yeah. I like to get the different perspectives.
Yeah.
But perfect. Thank you so much, Robert.
You're very welcome.
Beyond honored, and it was a pleasure talking to you. I think I took a lot, and I'm gonna be trying my best to share as much as I could from what I learned here, plus what I learned from other places. So thank you so much. I highly appreciate this.
You are very welcome, and thank you for providing content for other people to get educated.
Perfect.
Pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. Take care. Have an amazing day.
You too.
Bye-bye. I hope you guys enjoyed that series or that podcast. If you guys want more of these podcasts, let me know. Inshallah, I'll be bringing out a lot more high quality content like this, with a few more executives and a few more, just people who are deeply in the crypto world, and learn from them and see what they have to say about crypto, or even stock, or anything in general. Let me know what you guys want to talk about, or what you guys want to hear, what podcast you guys want to see, and if you guys want to see more of this or not. Take care. Asalamu.